No, Mr. Tractor. I think I am going to have to quit following. So at least I know this hedge doesn't have a fence in it at this point. I think that one does, though. Nope. Okay. So, yay for that. Right, well, let's see if I can get... Yes. You did the right thing. And again, we are losing a ton of maize because... Are you going to unload? Or not? No. Okay. I think we are now done with follow me. Worker, you can do your thing. Me, you cannot do your thing. Come on, do it. Just go. What is the issue? I'm half full. Unload. Just... And again. Okay, we'll turn the worker off. We'll go and empty 28,000 litres because it doesn't want to load into it. But at least the entrance is clearer. And then when we come back, we will try that again with an empty trailer. But this is getting beyond stupid now. Oh well. And it's not like there appears to be any explanation why it doesn't see a half-empty trailer as something it can tip into. I'm a little bit annoyed that the high-tip sugarcane trailers don't work with that particular harvester. I don't really have the time to test it. I will give them a try in Farm Sim 22. See if I can get any of those high-tip trailers to attach to the back of a forage harvester, and which ones. Because if that works, then there's a method to my madness as far as Farm Sim 22 is concerned, and I may consider doing corn silage in Farm Sim 22. But if I can't get a high-tip trailer to attach to the back of the forage harvester, it kind of limits what you're able to do. Because with the high-tip trailer, I would just have that running up and down on the worker. We can run off to the silo, and once we've, the worker can be just doing its thing, filling up the trailer, and then once we get back, the high-tip will bounce. Has the height to tip out into the big forage trailer that we're hauling here. Okay. We'll attempt to tip this on the right hand side of the bunker. Go. So yeah, finally got to see a demo of the Calmsden farm this week on YouTube. Looks like a nice farm. I'm gonna need to take a closer look at it in order to decide whether it's a farm I want to move to or not. As currently set up, it has some very large fields and kind of large equipment as well. I think the small tractor's a FS19, which is, I think, about 175 horsepower base. And then it has a couple of bigger tractors. Can't remember whether the John Deere, one of them was a 6 or not. And it's got the Class Tryon harvester. It's got JCB telehandler, which doesn't attach to any of the trailers, which is, I think, a bit of an oversight by Giants, because it's an in-game telehandler. And I'm given to understand most of the telehandlers can haul some form of trailer, but the JCB just doesn't. Actually, let's go in cab. So, but it's the huge fields you start off with, kind of like Marsden Manor, whatever it was. There were some huge fields on that, and a medium-sized harvester. So your income potential is great. Marwell Manor, that was it. But yeah, it was a good, it was a nice size of fields that you had with good income potential, but you really had to work hard at it because your equipment was a little bit on the small side to service those fields. The Old Stream Farm with an SC8S. Not sure you need big stuff on Old Stream, I must admit. But again, I mean, the thing with Old Stream is it's the opposite of most of Oxygen David's maps. You end up with, there's a whole bunch of really tiny fields on the map that you start with. So you really have to turn them over to get it started. It's going to rain soon. Okay, is the engine on? No. Turn the engine on. Turn the worker on. Forward to the Challenger, and let's see if we can get this whole thing moving. Yeah. All right, let's do this job then. At least now we've got this side of the field clear. We're now just going to be working our way in rows across. It's going to take a long time. There may be some foraging happening off camera this week. But my whole thing, the whole problem I have with Farm Sim 22 is that even the small equipment needs a big tractor to reliably work. Okay, you go and turn around and I'll get set up when you figure it all out. Or do you need me to? Just turn around, dude. There we go. Now you do have, and I don't know if I've got it loaded, seeders. This seeder was modded in, which is only 110 horsepower. And someone gave us the D830 and D840. I don't know if I've got the D840. No, I don't have any seeder mods on this. But the D830, D840, which gives you a 4-meter seeder, that is about 100 horsepower, but most of them you're looking about 180, so you need a fairly big piece of equipment to haul it, and then if you want to expand, oh, that's not going to work. then you need something over 200 horsepower, closer to 250, to give yourself an easy expansion. Otherwise, the first thing you have to do is buy a big tractor before you can get anything above 3 meter working width on your cultivators and all the rest of it. I'm probably going to squash that row of corn slightly. Okay, here we go. Hey, dude, this side. Seriously. Just can't get the staff these days. There we go. He woke up. So yeah, I do like the fact that we now have the Amazon D3, or what's it? D8, whatever it was. I can't remember now. But that one in 4 meter working width, because it does give you at least one seeder that is a good size. Let's drop the cruise control to about 6 miles an hour. Now this forage harvester not going faster than 4 miles an hour by the looks of it. I mean, I'm really upset we lost this one, the BTF 4000. We still have the TF 1512, but that twins up with a 6 meter seeder that needs about 220 horsepower. How are we doing? We're at 82%, so again, what I'll do is I'll line up along the edge and then we'll reverse back in order to get the worker to notice us. Good grief. Alrighty, let's get into his rear arc. And now we can get driving again. So he doesn't seem to be so upset at the moment, which is a good thing. But I do like Calmsden Farm has 2 sort of free placeable areas, which I find is a good thing. Kind of like the lower yard here on Oakfield. So there are no, I didn't notice any production facilities. So if you want production, you're going to have to buy the land, lose a field, or something. You can turn off again. We're off to the yard. But I don't mind that because we've got the placeable areas. And it's something that Oxygen David on his Discord channel did mention, that for his future maps he is planning sort of wasteland placeable areas. His farms are going to be in situ, whether you start new farmer or start from scratch. When you buy the land, you are getting the buildings on it. And because they're UK style farms, there's not really any space to put placeables on it. You look at this yard and it's a couple of sheds across the front, it's the pig shed at the back, and there's a sort of tall barn which has the hay sell point. That's all you've got room for. There's no room for any other sheds on that farm. I think the only real complaint I have is it would be really nice if, and it's possible now that there is a mod, to be able to place a sleep trigger in front of that house. Whether it's a pair of Wellingtons, a deck chair, a welcome mat or whatever, or just a a virtual box that's in front of the house. Something I did on my, I want to say Chellington, but I can't remember if it was Chellington. I did a couple of private Chellington playthroughs, and on one of them I found a bed and breakfast, and I put a placeable sleep trigger on it, which is quite neat, because then I'm staying at the bed and breakfast. I own the tiny yard down the road with one tractor and a couple of small bits of equipment, and I'm contracting round the area, providing farming services and servicing my small fields. And it's not a quick start, but it's, yeah, I'm living in the bed and breakfast because the yard I'm living at doesn't even have an attached house. And yeah, being able to do stuff like that is good. On this map you've got the farmhouse, and that's the sleep trigger, and I can't place any other sleep triggers on this map, at least not that I'm aware of. But you can, I think he said with Farm Sim 22 you can delete the yard buildings. But be very careful if you do, because you can't get them back once you've done that. Okay. I think the right side, from our point of view, still needs a little bit more at the back. So we will dump back here again. Interesting. It's not coming out of the bottom, so that's not a complete disaster, I guess. Gonna pull forward a bit now. Alrighty, so definitely filling this at the back, so that's working out okay. Jump back in the cab so we can see where we're going. Probably mess something up sooner or later. But yeah, I think part of my issue with Marwell Manor, it was that if you did a new farmer, you got the farm. If you did farm manager or start from scratch, you did not get the farm, and you couldn't place it either. So you couldn't build it if you wanted to. But he's got round that, and we're back to this style of map where, you know, your yard buildings are where they need to be, and you buy a yard with buildings in situ. I'm kind of mixed on that. I do like the ability to assemble my own yard sometimes, or expand the yard, and obviously with this style of map there is no expansion. The only way to expand the yard is to lose one of the fields you buy. But I'm not averse to that, so long as I have sufficient numbers of fields that I can still make money on, because obviously the best way to make money is from your fields most of the time, maybe from chickens, but then you need barley. You know how it goes. But yeah, technically the more fields you have, the more money you can make, among other things. So especially in Farm Sim 19, there's no production. I can buy chickens if I own the thing to put the chickens in. I could buy cows and make money from them. But we've already seen, we've got 1,300 sheep, and what's it, last year I think we made about 80,000 from selling all the male sheep, and 70,000 from all the wool they produced. So 500 sheep produced wool last year. So frankly, sheep are not the greatest of income sources. And I don't know that that's particularly improved in Farm Sim 22 either. For the most part, from what I've seen, sheep don't produce a lot of wool, but they do produce it all year round now. Well, not strictly true. They always did produce it all year round, but there wasn't years, and if you played with seasons, they don't. But they don't seem to produce a lot of wool, and I think the money from wool comes when you buy the spinnery and the tailor and start making clothes out of your wool. But I have again seen it suggest that maybe you shouldn't just be counting wool as your income source. You should really look at the entire sheep. So keep a base flock and then sell the excess. The tests I've seen seem to indicate that a 3-year-old animal is going to fetch the best price. After it's 36 months old, the value is going to go down. So buy some sheep that can breed, or buy some cows that can breed, or pigs that can breed, and feed them up. They will produce young on their appropriate sort of breeding cycles, and after that, as soon as the first batch reach 3 years old, sell them, and then every breeding cycle that you have from there onwards, sell the sheep that are 36 months old, or the cows that are 36 months old, or thereabouts approximately. That's then established the size of your herd, how big your barn needs to be to keep them all, but it's bringing you the best income from meat that you can get for the animal type that you've decided on. And if you've picked dairy cows, then you're going to make additional income from the milk. But I don't think rely on milk being your sole source of income. If you decided not to go for dairy cows, it would appear that beef cattle, which I believe are the all black and all brown cows, are worth seriously inflated amounts of money when compared with the I think it's the Swiss and the Holsteins. Like a factor of 3 times the value. So beef cattle is definitely a consideration in Farm Sim 22. But I think, as I said, we've shown here that selling sheep is a significant part of the whole sheep production thing, and wool is just really a bonus income, a side business. But 22, I suppose I should speed up a little bit, and there we go, you're full. Helper off, engine off, back to the JCB Challenger. We will run this back to the yard. So I guess we're doing okay. I don't know how far we've got here. I was going to put 2 more trailer loads in the bunker silo, the farm silo. So I'm going to do that. I mean, the thing is yeah, we get 200,000 litres in the farm silo. We can see how much we've got at the end of at the end of winter, and if I think we've got too much, I can just throw it in the silage bunker and just ferment it and sell it as a second round of chaff or a second round of silage down at the BGA. Let's keep. That looks like an oncoming car. Or maybe not. I don't know. Yes. Our acceleration here is not great with this load on the back. But I'm not, yeah, the other map that we do know is in Giant's hands at the moment, or close to being, I believe, is the Old Stream Farm. Now, I've done a series of that on Farm Sim 17 and Farm Sim 19. And I'm really not sure it's... I enjoy playing on the map. I will, yeah, yes, definitely. But I'm not sure it lends itself to a map that is going to inspire me to play for 2 years or thereabouts on it. So I'm going to go to the silo, but I'm going to go this way because it's a little bit straighter approach and probably less prone to driving into a barn. So excuse me while I just drive into a barn somewhere. And there we go. Unload that. And oh, it's a rolling floor thing. So